Today, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled against North Carolina lawmakers in a case about how much power they should have over federal elections. It's a decision drawing national attention and could have impacted elections here and across the country. This case is officially known as Moore v. Harper, centered on the congressional boundaries our state lawmakers drew last year. The maps determine essentially who represents you. They had been ruled unconstitutional by the state Supreme Court, which then led to this national lawsuit. Joining us now to weigh in on this major ruling and the implications and what it means for you, all the voters at home, UNC law professor Ted Shaw, someone who specializes in election law and the Supreme Court. You're perfect for this conversation. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
So voting rights advocates had been saying that this case could have thrown elections into chaos across the country. Do you think that's an accurate representation of what this case was about?
I do. When we think about a lot of the controversy in recent elections in 2020, but even before, there were all kinds of issues that arose in state courts around the country. Cases went to federal court about elections. So this would have changed the field, the playing cards, the ball game if this had been decided differently.
I mean, a little bit of the history here. Republicans put their maps forward, that a Democratic-heavy state Supreme Court said that they were unconstitutional. Then the court's dynamics changed to more Republicans. The Republicans then put the maps in front of the new court, and the court approved them. So this has been a long journey. But I do want to read a quick statement from the North Carolina House Speaker Tim Moore, just a brief part of it. He said that ultimately the question of the role of the state courts in congressional redistricting needed to be settled. What do you make of that statement? Did you think that this discussion was something that needed to be settled?
No, I think there was a pretty clear understanding about the role of courts, the state court, the role of the legislature, the interactions. And we really have a 200-year-old tradition which says that the United States Supreme Court and on the state level, the state Supreme Courts, they have the final say on what the law is. And there are instances in which they can invalidate state legislative enactments, including redistricting plans.
At this point, Republicans, lawmakers, do intend to redraw the districts this summer moving forward to the next election. But what do you think all of this will mean for voters and the voting process as we head into the next election and so on?
Well, I think we have to see what the legislature does this time, because the legislature failed to remedy a violation that the Supreme Court of the state found when it was controlled by Democrats, rather. Then the state Supreme Court flipped. I don't think the impact on the state right now is going to be as significant as it could have been, simply because the state Supreme Court has flipped too. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to be acting to strike down the state legislative redistricting plans. That's very unlikely.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll be checking back in with you sometime soon. UNC professor Ted Shaw, thanks for your time tonight.